And now, words of wisdom with Adam Carriker.
Saying it smells like popcorn right after you farted, so everyone takes a big, deep breath.
And a good Sunday morning to you. This is Fourth and Pain, the only pro wrestling show to be hosted by an NFL player and a weight loss champion. That smelly guy is Redskins defensive end Adam Carriker.
Howdy.
I'm former wrestling announcer and weight loss champion Chuck Carroll. This, the aforementioned Fourth and Pain. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Fourth and Pain. Like us on Facebook, and whatever else you do with your life, be sure to join us each and every weekday, high noon Eastern, fourthandpain.com for fresh content. And as always, Adam, just like this very show, that content, low calorie, high energy.
And doggone it, we're really good at what we do.
And people like us. Good morning. Lots to talk about this show. We're going to be joined by Impact Wrestling's D'Lo Brown. We're going to talk a little bit about the Elimination Chamber, which comes up tonight on pay-per-view. But let's start on the gridiron, where we do our thing, and we do it so well. Adam, I heard a lot about this past week for whatever reason. Ray Lewis against London Fletcher, two veteran linebackers with very, very outstanding careers. No simpler way to put it. But the question is, who is the better player? Is it the Redskins linebacker with the phenomenal streak, or is it the iconic Lewis, who has lifted the Baltimore Ravens to a couple of Super Bowls? Adam Carriker, I think I know where you're going to go with this, but of the two, who gets your nod?
Well, first of all, these are not only two of the best middle linebackers in the game today. These, in my opinion, are two of the best middle linebackers in NFL history. You've got Ray Lewis, two-time Super Bowl champion, played for 17 years. You've got London Fletcher, who's still playing, 15 years, going on 16 strong, hasn't missed a game since he came into the league in 1998, got a Super Bowl championship of his own with the St. Louis Rams. I'm going to let you go first. You make your case first. Who you got?
Okay, well, that said, you're putting me on the spot. I got to say this. With taking absolutely nothing away from Fletcher, who has started in something ridiculous, I believe, like 200 consecutive games, played in 240 consecutive games, had an outstanding career, statistically matches up to Ray Lewis in many, many, many categories. But I'm giving it to the recently retired Ray Lewis for the intangible reasons. The fact that he has led that Baltimore Ravens franchise to 2 Super Bowls. The fact that he battled back from an elbow injury that the doctors told him there's no way in the world he was going to be able to play this past season. He says, no, put me on that injured reserve list where I can come back after 8 weeks. He puts on the bionic elbow brace. He comes back for the playoffs, and he is the spiritual leader of that Baltimore Ravens franchise, who just recently hoisted that Lombardi trophy. And Adam, if you want to go tit for tat in the statistics department, Ray Lewis, more career sacks than London Fletcher in fewer games. 41.5 career sacks over his career. Why in the world would you take anybody else than Ray Lewis?
Well, first of all, ultimate respect to Ray Lewis, one of the greatest leaders in the game, one of the greatest linebackers ever. But the reason I'm going to take London Fletcher is because his stats are better. He has played 2 fewer seasons, yet he's played in 13 more games. Since 2001, when they started keeping tackle stats, he has 29 more tackles per season, which equates to, think about this, 349 more tackles. Almost 350 more tackles he has than Ray Lewis since 2001. That is a substantial amount. He's played in 240 straight games, hasn't missed a game, 195 straight starts. Ray Lewis has 1,336 tackles. London Fletcher is 1,685. To me, London Fletcher, and you want to talk about the sacks, Ray Lewis only has 4 more sacks. I mean, how marginal is that over almost 2 decades? And we were comparing a lot of their stats before the show. Tackles for loss, passes deflected, interceptions returned for touchdown, and everything was very close. But every time there was a considerable difference. London got the edge. Statistically, London's a little bit better. The thing I think that puts Ray Lewis over the top in most people's eyes is just his personality. He is flamboyant, he is loud, he is enthusiastic, and so is London Fletcher, but he doesn't do the dance before the game. He doesn't do a lot of these eye-popping, eye-catching things because that's just not who London is. London is very enthusiastic, very intense, and he is the unquestioned leader of our defense. But, I mean, Ray Lewis could – I mean, if there's anybody in the NFL that could easily transition into being a wrestler, it is Ray Lewis because of his personality. And I think that's the reason most people would give him the nod over Fletcher, despite the stats being skewed in Fletcher's advantage.
I think that you may be onto something, but at the same time, I honestly believe that Ray Lewis genuinely is the better player. I think that he's more feared, and maybe you can talk about this. Maybe you can testify to this. I would think when it comes to opposing teams, opposing players, Ray Lewis would strike more fear in their hearts than London Fletcher. Everybody knows what a great tackler London Fletcher is. Everybody knows what a warrior London Fletcher is. And when he goes out on the field, he's going to give 110%. But the fact of the matter is, Ray Lewis will straight decapitate you. Ray Lewis is a harder hitter. He's a harder player. He's a more fear-striking player than London Fletcher. Ergo, to me, he's the more effective of the two.
That's why I say his reputation precedes him. And once again, maybe the greatest linebacker in history. You can debate that with London Fletcher, Patrick Willis, Dick Butkus, all these other guys. So I'm not taking anything away. I'm simply saying that he went to University of Miami. London Fletcher went to John Carroll, not even a D1 school. So his beginnings were a lot humbler. He wasn't a first-round draft pick like Ray Lewis. So people expect big things. People's eyes are attracted to him. So for London Fletcher to get noticed, it takes a lot more. And actually, it's probably impressive that he's in this conversation because in the beginning, nobody would have even paid attention simply because the U versus John Carroll and the fact that he's in this conversation has better stats to me is even more impressive because of what was already expected out of Ray Lewis in the beginning.
Fine, take all of that out of the equation. Talk to me about the mindset of opposing players. Which two has the darker reputation? Which one strikes more fear in the hearts of opponents? Which one among NFL players, your brethren, Adam, which one has the more fearsome reputation?
I'm going to put it to you like this. 1980, the Olympics. Ray Lewis is Russia. They are the most feared team on earth. They are just the most dominant, awesome team on earth. And in comes little-known America, and then they beat Russia. Now, Russia's a great team, one of the best ever, but America beats them. To me, when you break it down and you dissect it and you look at the stats, you have to give the edge to London Fletcher, just like you give the edge to that little-known American team that won the Miracle on Ice that year. Damn. Boom.
Yeah, we could talk about that all day. I wholeheartedly disagree. Submit your picks to us at Fourth and Pain on Twitter.
All right. Well, as always, I'm right. You're wrong. What else is new? But now we're going to go to the best segment of the week. We're going to go to our Reporter in the Field, where we talk about the biggest, brightest news across the national landscape. And this week we're going to bring in my wife this week, as always, Mrs. Carriker, to do the polls. How you doing, sweetie?
Good.
I think she's busy with our three little ones. I think they're crawling all over right now at the moment, she told me. But basically, give her a follow at Ange Carriker, A-N-G Carriker on Twitter. But I got a quick question because on Twitter previously this week, LeBron James tweeted out slam dunk contest ? Do you think I'm gonna ask Mrs. Carriker here? Do you think that he could we've seen the dunk from the free throw line? Do you think that he could dunk from behind the free throw line, sweetie? Do you think LeBron James is that talented? He could maybe halfway between the free throw line and 3-point line. Could he make it?
I doubt it.
Oh, you don't think he could pull a Michael Jordan, who coincidentally is turning 50 this week? You don't think that he could pull a Michael Jordan? I think that LeBron's got ups.
I don't think so.
A freakish athleticism.
Jordan did from the free throw line. I'm saying behind the free throw line. And I asked this because there's an individual in the dunk contest. He won over in Europe, the dunk contest over there. He not only jumped from the free throw line, he went between the legs from the free throw line and made it. Ooh. So I'm wondering if LeBron James can top that. That's what I'm wondering.
And that goes to my point. is LeBron James facing too much pressure at the slam dunk competition? Would this tarnish his legacy? It seems like a silly question, but think about it. If he loses to some no-namer, Angie and Adam, if he loses to some no-namer, then the legacy that is King LeBron is going to be tarnished.
The man's a competitor. You don't dunk competition. That's my opinion. I hope he does it. If he doesn't, I understand, but I'm hoping he does.
And correct me if I'm wrong, my last point on this, Spud Webb was also a slam dunk champion. Thank you very much. He was a short guy.
So was Nate Robinson. I played against him in high school football. I believe he's about 5'9".
Well,
so I'm all for the short guys in this competition.
That's right. Well, Spud Webb was about 5'2", maybe 5'1", could be 4'11". I don't really know.
You got some ups, Chuck?
I got some ups. I can get all the way up to 7 feet. I can dunk on a 7-foot rim.
With that trampoline you mentioned, honey.
Exactly. From the free throw line. Anyway, Ange Carriker with the Pulse. Join us each and every week. Check her out on Twitter at ANG Carriker. And on the other side, we're going to come back, talk a little bit about wrestling. We're going to make our Elimination Chamber match picks. This is Fourth and Pain.